I'm Coach Liz Brown, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Keep the wins go hard. Rise the star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote. Chill.
SLT Nation, what it do, fam? Welcome back to another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right, it is season 4, 2024, the year of the Mamba. And KT and I, we are still 10 toes down, combing all across this country, and we're finding stories in the WBB women's basketball community of individuals who are doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. And that big dream today, ladies and gentlemen, go about 6'3". That's right. Y'all make some noise for the Baltimore, Maryland native. She is a former pro hooper. She has been all over this country as an assistant coach with over 7 years pedigree in the game. And some over there at Richmond know her as the Black Widow. That's right, Richmond, make some of your noise for one of your former hoopers, a 4-year starter. And now she is out there making noise and just spreading the word of NIL and women's basketball. We got her, ladies and gentlemen, the assistant coach, Coach Liz Brown. Coach Brown, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic after that. That was incredible.
Coach, hey, KT, what you thought about the Black Widow? I came up with that. I came up with that over the weekend.
Good job, man. I'm proud of you, man.
She got to be a spider. She got to be the Black Widow. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time rocking with the fellas over here at Sports Life Talk, welcome to the You Got Next experience. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the OG, all things Louisiana. Put your L's up. Mr. Yeet is in the building, and I'm rocking alongside my brother from another mother. The other side of the logo, the Quiet Storm. Shh. All facts, no cap. The head coach, KT. Kev. Oh, one more game. You back at it again, Playboy. How you got us this amazing guest, man, and how you feeling today, bro?
Closed mouths don't get fed, B. Jones. So what I did, I slid into Coach Brown's DMs, not like that. But I just asked her to come on the show, and she was happy to do it, B. Jones. So I'm glad she came.
Well, Kevin, I'm glad you're here. I want to tell all my NBA players out there, see, we don't do no load management around Sports Life Talk. This man right now should be on a 15-day IL, and he is out here playing injured and playing weak. That's how we do it around here. We don't do no load management around Sports Life Talk Nation. But, Coach, let's get this party started proper with one of my favorite segments. We call it The Moment of Truth. That's right. This is our icebreaker, Coach, our version of 2 truths and a lie. Well, Coach, before the show has prepared 3 unique facts about herself, but as you can tell from the title, one of these facts are pure cap. So we're going to give Coach the opportunity to give us her 3 facts, and KT and I will have exactly 60 seconds to work as a team and try to figure out which one of these facts are not being truthful. Coach, we not good at this game. Kevin kind of told you. I think we still sub 500 on the season, but it's okay. It's okay. It's the year of the Mamba, and we're going to climb out of this deficit one show at a time. So y'all stick around. We're going to have tons and tons of more Moment of Truths coming your way. But, Coach, give us your 3 facts.
All right. Here we go. I've been to 35 states. I've swam with sharks, and I've had artwork hung up in a museum.
You know what, Kevin? They get us every time with the states, don't it?
I know. Golly. As soon as I saw the yes in my face, I was like, come on.
But Kevin, she flipped it up on us, though. So, Coach, everybody else got frisky. They say, I've been to all 50 states. And we like, nah, you ain't getting us with all 50. But 35 is very reasonable, KT. We on the clock, man. So which one are you feeling a little skeptical about right now?
I'm going with the one you're talking about. I think she has swum with sharks before.
I believe she swam with sharks.
That could be literally or figuratively. You know what I'm saying? So she could have swam with sharks some kind of way. The last one she said some artwork.
She loves water, so she loves to be around the water. Yeah. I peeped that out just from following on social media.
But B. Jones, if she did like artwork, wouldn't some of that be on her social media pages? I didn't see anything with artwork. That's
true. I didn't read a thing about art, bro. But I'm trying
to look at her face as we're talking, so she give us a hint. She is.
I'm gonna go with artwork. Because listen, she played basketball, and she had to see a lot of the country just from being a coach as well as playing basketball. She's a former pro hooper, so I'm going with artwork. KT, which one you going with?
Which, man, let's go. Let's go with it.
That's it. Final answer. We're gonna say that you have not had published artwork hung in a museum, but we're gonna say you swam with the sharks and visited 35 states. Now we'll let you tell us which one is the lie.
I have not swam with sharks.
Oh. And that's exactly why we suck at this.
I really thought you were going to get it.
Well, you know what, Kevin, I'm going to tell you, over the year, we've done this about 85, 90 times now, Coach. And so over the year, I've learned to try to catch little subtle cues. You started a little bit on the art one, and I was like, that might have been her tail. Everybody has a little bit of tail, and it's funny. I go back and I watch him, and I'm like, dang, that was the tail right there of which one was the fin. But you was pretty good, Coach. You ice cold. You got ice in your blood.
I just had this conversation with my dad the other day, and he told me I should not play poker. And so in my head, I'm like, no, I'm about to prove I can play poker.
You had a great moment.
You took all our money, so I mean, that's what. Good.
All right, Coach. Well, we're about to take them on a crazy ride. We're about to tell them about your story. This is an immaculate journey. And before you go on any long road trip, you know what you got to do, Coach. Take that right hand, lift it up for us. Lift it up as high as you can. Reach over your left shoulder. Reach over that left. Grab that seatbelt and strap up. Click, clack. It is time to get this car ripping and rolling. And the first thing we got to do after we get the air conditioning set, because I like it kind of icy. Got to be brisk in the car when I ride. We got to pay the bills. That's right. We need all of y'all who are watching this right now, whether you represent Baltimore, whether you represent Richmond, you play basketball with Coach. A coach had an opportunity to impact and influence your career all throughout her 7 years of coaching, NIL, Dobo, and whatever she's done. You watching this for a particular reason. We need you to join the You Got Next movement and do 4 things that won't cost you a penny. Number 1, watch this show all the way to the end. Keep the show rolling. Even if you got to use the restroom or go get you some popcorn, just let this thing keep running. Number 2, we need you to hit that like button as many times as Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg will allow you to hit this like. We need this show to bubble all the way up to the top. Number 3, now Coach was a big, you know what I'm saying? She was down there snagging rebounds, and I heard she was known to throw a block party here or there, but we need all my point guards. We need everybody watching this to become an assist monster, and we need you to throw this thing to as many people as you possibly can, spreading the love and telling them about this amazing story, because I promise you, they're going to thank you. They're going to be like, hey, I appreciate that assist. And last but not least, Kevin, I need some music for this one. Doom, doom. We need you to join the tribe. That's right. Smash that subscribe and join the SLT tribe. We're doing big things in 2024 and beyond. This is just the beginning, and we need your love and support to help us take this show to a whole nother level. And plus, we're going to work hard for you. That's our commitment. Coach, it's Richmond. It's Baltimore. It's all of your folks going to show us some love and hold us down. University of Kentucky. Let's go, Big Blue. It's all of your folks going to show us some love.
Yes, they're going to show us some love.
All right, y'all know what y'all got to do. Let's do it. Like we true to it on the count of 3. Make some noise for your boys. 1, 2, 3. Boo! Yeah, let's go. Oh, Kevin, I feel like I got electricity shooting through my veins every time we do that part of the show. We got all these new family members, all this love being shown to us. My phone is going crazy. I'm about to turn it off tonight. But, hey, thank y'all for smashing that subscribe button or doing anything to show us some support. Welcome to the Sports Life Talk family. Coach, in order for those people who are watching this to sign in and say, hey, I did one of those 4 things, we give an emoji of the show. So we want you to pick, what is your favorite emoji, Coach? What is the emoji that you're using in your phone when you're texting friends, family members? What is that go-to emoji?
The go-to emoji is probably the crying laughing face.
All right, y'all heard her. Throw the crying laughing face emoji in the chat if you did any of those three things, or if you plan on sticking around. That way Kevin and I can reach back out to you. What we gonna tell them, KT?
We're going to tell them thank you.
That's right. Thank you. Because around here, we don't do fans. We don't do followers. We only do family. Coach Liz Brown, it's time to get it cracking. Let's take them to the danger zone, little sis. Let's tell them your story. But before we do, though, we got to learn a little bit about what makes you tick. Welcome to the Sports Life Talks initiation.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Coach, to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
All right, let's see. There's Khaled, there's Luke Combs, there's I always throw some Drake in there. Yeah, some Beyonce, and I'll probably go with put some Luke Bryan in there.
Is that right? We got 2 country in there.
There's 2
Luke Combs and Luke Bryan, right?
Yeah.
That's dope. A little Beyonce and Drake.
Cover it all. If
Kevin?
you saw my playlist, you just be like, I don't know if you like it. It's just everything.
I like every artist you named. I respect. So KT, you got a difficult job, sir. What are you gonna give the 6'3" monster? What are you gonna give the Black Widow for her top 5?
Well, Coach, we like to rank everybody's top 5, and the highest you can get is 10. So, B. Jones, I'm feeling real 22-ish. All right, Coach. So, who is your favorite superhero and why?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Spider-Man, just because it kind of fits. but I feel like growing up, that was kind of the main superhero that I grew up with. Now there's 800 different Spider-Man movies, and I have to admit, no, I have not seen them all. But I think growing up, that was definitely the superhero that was in front of me the most. So,
all right, Coach. So we asked the superhero question because we see coaches as superheroes, and as a superhero, they have their own theme music. So, what would your theme song be?
You're killing me with the music questions. And I know you prepared me for them. I was just, you said maybe you don't ask all the questions, so I was just wondering. The theme song is so hard. I really have no idea.
What was your favorite song to get hyped, to get going when you was playing ball back at Richmond? What was that go-to song to get you revved up?
Oh man, Dreams and Nightmares probably.
Hey, that's
wait a minute.
Y'all thought I was finished.
That was definitely up there on that playlist. So we can go with that.
That's a popular one on our show.
Okay.
Coaches and the athletes go with that one.
That doesn't surprise.
All right. So we have a running debate on this show where I want to be a singer, B. Jones wants to be the dancer. So we need for you to break the tie. Would you rather be a singer or would you rather be a dancer?
I think I'd rather be a singer. I'm sorry. If I could not break the tie, I would say I would like to be 50% better at each.
No, your answer was perfect. I love the answer. It was perfect.
But if I have to pick, I think I'd rather be a singer.
Yeah, perfect answer for this. Good job.
I saw that coming. When he put the hand up, I knew he was going to get you, Coach. All right, so what is something that basketball has taught you that you can use when you're not on the court?
Just to always pay it forward to those coming after you, and to pay it back to those who came before you. And that doesn't necessarily have to be basketball related. I think that's life related. There's so many life lessons that people teach you outside of basketball. And I think it's just so important to, again, bring those life lessons with you, but also make sure that you're paying homage to the ones that brought those to you. Because I'm telling you, without the people and the lessons that I've learned throughout my entire life and career, I would not be here. And I think it's our job to continue to pay that forward to the next generation. It's almost like a requirement, in my opinion, to continue to challenge the next generation, with that kind of knowledge and to grow and learn and like adapt to the things that, you know, you've learned. Because it's so funny because sometimes when I talk to my kids, some of the stuff that I learned or the sayings that we had back then, you know, I'll say them sometimes and they'll just look at me crazy. And I'll just be like, well, now I have to figure out how to tell you this in a way that you're going to understand it. And then hopefully it stays with you enough that like down the road, whether you start doing workouts with kids or something else, you want to get into coaching, you have your own kids. Maybe one thing that I said stuck and you can kind of pay it forward to the next one. So I just think that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned.
Yeah, we have your own kids, Coach. They still don't listen, so it don't matter what they hear it later on when somebody else tell them. But I get exactly what you're saying.
Facts, KT.
It's just crazy how that happens, isn't it, B? All right, Coach. So B and I, we're going to produce a movie that's centered around you. The one thing that we're missing is a lead actress. Who should we get to play you in the story of your life?
I would really like Blake Lively to play.
That's what I was gonna pick. Oh my goodness!
That's a real good.
I was thinking Blake Lively. Oh, I feel like I got it right. Now,
That makes me so happy.
man, I was gonna say Blake Lively. Kevin, who did you have?
She's not a well-known actress. She's been on like several different sitcoms. Her first name is Dawn. Her last name I can't really pronounce. It's like Oliveri or something like that. But she looks like an older version of you. That's why I went with her. But Blake Lively, we probably get both of them, B. Jones. I don't think that would be too much to get both of them. They ain't really. I mean,
I don't know, man. Blake was hot like fish grease at the time, KT.
Yeah, you just said she was hot. So we may have a shot at her. That's perfect. I didn't even think about that one. You go, Coach. Did you really have that one?
I had, man, I can show you my screen right here. I had Blake. I wanted to make sure I said her name right. I looked up by her movie and I was like, okay, that's who it is Blake Lively. So yeah, I had Blake Lively, bro.
All right, I'll let you make it on that. All right, Coach. So this is probably the most important question that we asked during our initiation. B. Jones and I, we love to travel. When we travel, we got to eat. So we come kick it with you. What's that one food spot you're going to recommend and what's your go-to meal there?
All right. So there's a restaurant. So I'm originally from Baltimore, like, you know, but so there's a restaurant there. It's outside of the city. It's called Friendly Farm. And it has been my absolute favorite restaurant since I was probably 6. My favorite meal there is the filet. And they kind of have all the sides family style. So based on whatever season it is, depends on what kind of sides you have. But the other favorite thing that they have there are these sugar biscuits that they bring out. And it's way better than just like bread that you would get at like sugar biscuits mash. And I mean, I'll probably get like 2 or 3 baskets. And I also take one home with me. So that's my absolute favorite.
I thought she was going to say I get 2 or 3 biscuits. She say baskets. God.
I mean, they're like little. They're not like, but yeah, these are good. They're so good.
I'm ready to go. Now that's in Baltimore, Coach?
It's north of the city, so it's not in the city.
Okay. But it's around the DMV, the Baltimore area. Okay.
Oh, it's about,
we got to get that DMV trip cranking up, man. We got to get out there ASAP.
Oh,
sugar biscuits, B. Jones. That's diabetes waiting to happen. I'm gonna have to stay away from that. I'm eating everything else. You gotta stay away from that sugar basket.
You gotta try one. You gotta try.
No, Coach, we'll split a couple of baskets. Just me and you.
I'm with it.
All right, joining us on our podcast is Liz Brown, a trailblazer in the world of college athletics. With a standout career as a 4-year starter at the University of Richmond and coaching stints at institutions like the University of New Haven, Marshall University, and Fordham, she brings a wealth of experience to the table. She is a former NIL director at the University of Kentucky. She is at the forefront of navigating the evolving landscape of student-athlete opportunities. Let's dive into her insights and journey. So B. Jones, go ahead and take it away, brother.
Coach Brown, welcome to the show. I'm telling y'all, we learn these stories about these incredible people, and it just makes me giddy like a kid in a candy store every time I get the opportunity to come on the mic and talk to these amazing individuals. Coach, you know what I'm saying? We talked about the University of Kentucky, and Kevin mentioned the 4-year start at Richmond, but you gave them hell in high school. I want to learn all about all of these accolades you accomplished in the DMV area area because you ain't too far removed from that. So let's take them back to the very beginning, Coach. Let's go back to when you wasn't 6'3" and 5'2" before you became 52. Let's take it back to the beginning, Coach. When did you start playing the game of basketball, and what made you fall in love with this great, glorious game?
I started playing probably around the age of 6 or 7, just regular. I was also playing soccer and t-ball or whatever. And I kind of decided, t-ball was definitely not my thing. Way too boring. So I stayed with soccer and basketball for a while, and it came time for me to have to make a decision come about middle school, whether I was going to stay with travel soccer or I was going to do AAU, because we just couldn't do both. Too much time, too much money. And that was, I think, the first time that I had to make a decision, not based off of which friends I wanted to be with more or whatever. I had to decide what I really enjoyed doing the most. And it was a hard decision, for a little 11, 12-year-old girl, but basketball has always been kind of my thing that I just really enjoyed from the very beginning. So I decided to stay with basketball, and I just really pursued that hard. My first AAU team, we were called the Wildcats. On a funny full circle back to Kentucky being the Wildcats, but our head coach Bill Pace, I owe him so much. I have never known anybody who knows as much about basketball as that man. And I don't mean statistics, and I don't mean, player names and all that. I'm talking about just skill development, just knowing the smallest things for you to understand. If my shoulder is past my defender's shoulder, people don't teach like that anymore. And the way that he taught a bunch of girls that some of us had never picked up a ball before and put us on a team for 6 years. And in the beginning, it wasn't good for us. We didn't do very hot, but we were winning championships at the end of our time together. My dad was also an assistant coach, and then we also had Pat O'Grady as another assistant, and the three of them with us were just incredible. And that was just, I didn't really appreciate it for what it was when I had that, but being able to have my dad coach me for that long and just be so invested from such a young age was, I look at it now and I'm so grateful. There's so many kids that don't get that opportunity, and I'm just so thankful for that. So then going from there, middle school, going into high school, all of a sudden my parents decided to tell me that I was going to go to a private school, and about passed out when they told me that, because I was really planning on going to Delaney, where all of my friends were going, and where the bus dropped all the high school kids off every morning at Delaney before they took me back to middle school. So I was really excited about going there, and they dropped this bomb on me, and I was like, this is the end of my life. This is it. It's over. And we started, there was a girl whose dad kind of helped out with our AAU team, Melvin Williams, and his daughter BJ played at Seton Keogh High School. And from a young age, when I was on that team, he kept telling me one day he was going to make me a Gator. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go be a Lion, but that's fine. And so I had to do all my shadowing and everything for, figuring out which high school I want to go to, because there was, I think I went to 6 different high schools to just kind of see just to shadow and see what was going on. And I ended up deciding on Keogh, which was an all-girls Catholic school, which was not what I intended to be doing when I started 8th grade. But I have to admit, that school changed my life. I have friends there that are still very close to me, and there's a lot of memories from that place that I think about, rent-free in my head, all the time. And I know there's stigmas about all girls private schools, but when you think about it, they're catty, there's all these issues, all the things. I'm telling you, that school was a family 9th through 12th grade. I mean, we only had 500 kids in the school total, really. So it was small knit, but it was like a family, and you really couldn't tell who was a freshman and who was a senior. And there were a couple fights here and there, but it was not like what is portrayed. And that school changed my life, and it's tough to say that it is no longer in existence. That's sad. It has since been turned into an Amazon warehouse. Very sad. Yeah, so that one hurts. But what that school did for me, and I know that a lot of my teammates and friends feel the same, was incredible. And so we went on sophomore year. We won our conference championship, and we made it to the championship every year except my junior year. Senior year, we lost to Spalding. One of my good friends, team and former AU teammates, Maggie, was on that team. That was a tough one. But then we went on to win our Bishop Walsh tournament championship, which was they took the best teams out of the DC area and the best teams out of Baltimore and put them together in a tournament every year. And so senior year, we did get to win that. So that was a fantastic way to end senior year. And then college came along after that. So.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this question, because I mentioned 6'3" a couple of times, and I'm not teasing with y'all. Y'all go check out her social media. She is a tall drink of water. Coach, were you always tall like that?
I was always taller. I was always in the back of the school pictures, always that kind of thing. But I grew 3 inches a year. So I still have my measuring stick at home, and every once in a while I'll pull it out of the closet and look at it and be like, wow, I don't remember ever being, down, but I was at some point.
Yeah.
But I've been this tall since I was sophomore in high school.
Okay. So you hit 6'3" like at sophomore age.
Yeah.
And so that's around 15. Now, Coach, you was a monster on the volleyball court too. You talked about t-ball and travel soccer. You could have made a living on the volleyball side of things. What made you put away volleyball and go all basketball?
Okay, so funny story. I had never played volleyball before I got to high school, and every year my birthday is in August. And I might have mentioned before the show started, my mom's side of the family is from the West Coast, so we would typically go to California or Oregon to visit family during the week of my birthday. And so that's when volleyball tryouts happened to be. And I was new to the school. I don't really know anything. So I was on vacation, and SJ Greenway, head coach, he is a former military. He was like, absolutely not. She wasn't here. Like, I'm not doing that. And Coach Jackie Boswell, who's now the head coach at Stevenson in Maryland, she was our head coach and athletic director at Keough. And she said, well, SJ, you might want to consider, because she is 6'3". And he said, well, maybe I'll have her come to tryouts. So I showed her to tryouts, nervous as everything. Not only is it a sport I've never played, but I don't know any of these girls. And I'm like, all girls school, they're all going to judge me, all the things. I'm terrified. And so I show up, I go through JV practice, everything's fine. I did okay. Everything was fine. And then, my mom came in, get ready to go. And SJ came over and he was like, would you mind if she stayed for varsity? And I looked at my mom and I was like, these girls weren't really that judgmental, but they all were kind of, we were all in the same playing field. I'm not doing that with the varsity girls. They all play. No, I'm the new freshman who missed tryouts. Absolutely not. My mom was like, yeah, she'll stay.
Wow.
And so yeah, shout out moms for that. But so I stayed. Practice went great. The girls were fantastic. Didn't know what I was doing still, so I did end up making the varsity team. Freshman year, I was basically just a middle, mainly used for blocking. But after that, I will say I did get pretty good. I moved to the outside. I was outside hitter for the next 3 years, and I had a fantastic time, and I loved volleyball. I really did. SJ and my teammates made that a fantastic experience for me. Actually, my Junior year, we made it to the championship game, which we had never done in school history. So that was really exciting for us. We lost to Mount DeSales, but honestly, I don't know if anybody ever beat Mount DeSales, so I'm not that upset about it. But I had a conversation with my dad at one point, and he was talking about, the decision between basketball and volleyball, because I was starting to get letters about basketball since sophomore year, maybe end of freshman, sophomore year, back when they sent paper letters.
Right.
And I had to make a decision because I didn't want the recruiting process. First of all, I didn't have any idea what that was going to even entail, which is a lot, but I didn't want it to be any more complicated than it was already going to be. So basketball was my first love. And I do believe that I could have played in college. And if Richmond would have had a volleyball team, I would have played both.
Wow.
But I went to SJ and I said, you might be mad at me about this, but if there's any calls or any letters or any coaches inquiring, please tell them I respectfully decline, because I don't want it to cloud my judgment for my basketball decisions.
Man, that's a whole other show. We can talk about that kind of decision. Now, you talked about being a middle blocker, and one of your key attributes on the basketball court was absolutely dominating in the paint. You was sending them things back left and right. Did a lot of that nastiness, did a lot of that ability to high point the ball and deflect a lot of shots, did that come from playing volleyball?
I do kind of attribute that to that. I mean, it gave me different footwork. I mean, I had to do it a lot. I do think some of it's a natural talent, but I'll give some credit to volleyball. I definitely, I mean, you jump different, you move different on the volleyball court than you do basketball. So I definitely think that was helpful with that.
Dang, Coach, I wish we could talk a little bit more about Richmond, because you did some amazing things at Richmond. Beat Georgetown. I looked at some of your accolades at Richmond. You had a good career, and you was able to even go play pro. But we got to get into this NIL thing, because this is the first time ever we're able to give the SLT Nation, all of the youngsters, all of the parents that's watching this, an opportunity to get some insight on the NIL portion, as it being the main focus of this conversation, especially when we have a Power 5 a program like Kentucky that goes above and beyond to say, hey, we know you can coach, but we want you specifically to work as an NIL director and help brand and help some of these kids. And I'll let you do the whole explanation behind what the NIL portion of what you guys did. But I got to ask the first question. Knowing that you would have been an NIL monster when you were at Richmond, you would have had all kind of opportunities around Richmond. What is that? That's North Carolina. What is it? Richmond, Virginia. You would have had all kind of opportunities in Virginia to be paid. And then that's your job now. You got to help all these kids take advantage of an opportunity that you wasn't afforded. What was going through your mind when Coach Elsie presented you with this NIL director role, and how difficult was that to put together your whole persona, your whole program, your whole package, and what you were going to teach and how you was going to utilize this position to help these kids?
It definitely was. It was a very interesting opportunity, coming from mid-major programs, especially on the women's side, because NIL is still so new. There's not a ton of NIL stuff happening with female athletes in mid-majors. Now, I think it's starting to pick up now, but from where I came from, there really wasn't too much. A couple kids had some barstool things and some things like that, but nothing like what you see now, So I really had to take a lot of time to learn about what was necessary to be successful in this space, for athletes, coaches, and, businesses that would want to partner with them, because it is a partnership. And I think that the biggest thing that I needed to do was to educate our athletes. And I think that is still something that needs to be taken very seriously, because there is a lot that they need to learn and understand. And And a lot of programs don't have a me. They didn't have somebody like what I do or what I did. And I think it's really important for schools and programs to understand what exactly you're asking your athletes to do. Not only are they becoming adults away from home, having freedom for the first time, they are a full-time athlete, they're a full-time student, they're running their social life full-time or trying to, and now they're going to be a full-time business owner, whether they really know that or not, or understand it in that way or not. And I think it's something that really needs to, they need to sit down and be educated and have a safe place to go to ask questions. They need to have a place where they can go to feel like they can get help when they need it. And I also think that businesses need the same thing, because there's a lot of businesses that I talk to that just don't understand exactly what it is. There's a lot of, just people in general who don't understand what NIL is. They say, well, athletes get their education paid for, so why am I going to spend any more money on them? It's not about the fact that they get their education for, it's that they're helping you become more successful in your business while you're also giving them a platform as well. So there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, we could talk about it for a long time, but
we're gonna have to. We're going to keep this thing rolling. So, Coach, when should NIL conversation start? Because I feel like high schools need to actually start getting involved with this, right? I think it should be one semester dedicated to athletes who plan on continuing football, basketball, softball. They should have to go to an NIL class and understand, because kids have a platform that I didn't have when I was coming up. They can literally get mad right now, or they can record a video in class or at a party that could damage their reputation and career. I mean, I just personally feel like juniors and seniors should have to go through a one semester NIL class. When should that conversation be happening? Whether it be with the schools, or do you think it should be the ownership should lie upon the parents?
I think first and foremost, that's a parent's responsibility. But I do think the school also has responsibility. I mean, I just think the parent comes first, school comes second, but I think they're both a 100% must. For one, the parent first, because each parent has different morals and values that they deem important compared to what whatever specialized school program would be. But I think that conversation needs to happen nowadays as early as possible. I would even say freshman year to start, especially the kids that are serious about moving forward in collegiate athletics. Right. It needs to be something that is on the forefront. It's just as important as just recruiting in general. Yep. Now. And the one thing that just saddens my heart is that when you talk to kids now who are looking to transfer or go to school, and what kind of culture are you looking for, what kind of coaching staff, what do you want your teammates to be like, what kind of education are you looking for, what are you going to major in, minor in, all those things. Well, I just want to go to the school that's going to pay me the most. And it just hurts my soul a little bit, because that's not what this is supposed to be, and that's not what it ever meant to me. I just thoroughly loved it. I didn't get paid. I mean, yes, I had a scholarship, but I didn't get paid extra.
No, we know what you mean, Coach.
No, and I'm not, this is not to say that there's nobody that generally doesn't love it anymore. I know that there is, but it's just a sad thing when you hear that. That's the first thing that you hear come out of kids' mouths now. And it's, I wish it wasn't. I think, yes, if you have an opportunity now to completely set yourself up for success for the rest of your life. But how many grown men and women who are in professional sports ruin all of those opportunities doing dumb stuff? They not even doing something that, gets them in trouble legally. It's just, you don't know how to handle your money. You have your mom's second cousin who all of a sudden showed up and wants to be part of the family and asks for money. And as an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, you have no idea what, okay. There's a lot that goes into this that as an 18, 19-year-old kid, you are not ready for that, especially with any knowledge that going into it. and anybody to go to and ask for help, during that kind of, situation. So I think the earlier that you can get these kids in front of somebody who knows what they're talking about, the better. Also, not even just an educational side to learning what you're going to be up against, but just talking with somebody who's going to explain to you the best ways for you to start building your brand, because you want to have your brand already built before you get to school. You want to do that in high school. Like, you want to have, and I know that could be touchy with social media and kids that are so young, but that's okay to have mom and dad help you out. That mom and dad should help you out. It's okay. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people outside of that who know what they're doing, social media managers and things like that you can bring into the picture to help you do that, because it's a lot of work. Yes. I mean, it's a lot of work. You have to post consistently. You have to be creative. You have to draw people in. And there's a lot of kids too who are like, well, I don't want to seem vain. I just don't like being in front of the camera. That is totally fair. But if NIL is something that you want, you're going to have to do that at some point. Now, first and foremost, it starts on the floor. That's where it starts. So don't get it twisted. It starts on the floor. But you do have to have some kind of social media presence at some point that are going to get you these deals if you are not Caitlin Clark. And I'm sorry, but not everybody can be Caitlin Clark. It's just what it is. I was not. There's a lot of other people that do a lot of good things for their team that aren't Caitlin Clark, right? So it's how else can you get noticed if you're not doing record-breaking things every night? There's a lot of things that you can do that don't get put in the stat book, right? But it makes a difference. So how else can you get noticed by brands and companies and other people that want to partner with you?
Coach, hey, man, we could go on. I mean, you talk about the tax thing. That's a whole nother conundrum. We got to get you back, Coach, guaranteed. Now, we normally do a championship round. We're going to skip championship round because I do have one other question for you. And that is, you talked about the creativity. Now, Kevin and I had an opportunity to come across a young lady who was severely under-recruited. And I think because she was under-recruited, she started getting very creative with her social media platform. What happened was, she got recruited eventually. She got one D1 offer. She took it. Shout out to Coach Amy Wright for taking a chance on this young lady. But as soon as she stepped foot on campus, all of the local businesses jumped on her. They were like, she has a creativity. She created a whole brand for herself, and she's not a mega superstar. I'm telling y'all, if I gave you her name, you probably wouldn't even be able to Google her, because she is not. She just has a normal platform, but has been able to, get eyes and visibility. But my question to you is, the natural emotion for a parent and for a kid to say is, well, my kid is, she's D2. She's D3, my kid may not be going to Power 5, or even the kids who know that, hey, I'm 5'4". I don't have the body type to play Division I, but shouldn't they at least be exploring opportunity at NIL? Shouldn't they be thinking outside the boxes and ways of branding themselves and not give up on that NIL dream? Is it truly for everybody?
Yes, 100%. It is for everybody. I think, if you can, it doesn't matter if I know everybody sees the 1%. They see the Angel Reeses, they see the Haley Van List, they see the Caitlin Clark, they see the 1%ers. Media doesn't care about the other 99%.
Which is a whole nother problem. We'll talk about that another day, but
don't get me started.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you're not that 1% athlete. Like, you have an opportunity to put yourself in a position to do well in NIL, no matter whether you come off the bench, no matter whether you're a Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, JUCO, it doesn't matter. Athletes in high school can now do NIL in certain states.
I know Georgia's one of those states. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about Texas. I'm not sure about Ohio, but I think California is one of those states. Mm-hmm. You're correct. There's about 7-8 states that you can do NIL in right now in high school.
Correct. And even if it's not NIL, you can be an influencer. You can do UGC, so you can work with brands but not post on your social media, but you can create content for other brands that they post. Like, for the kids who don't want to post on their social media and all the thing, you can do that. and those are things that aren't technically considered NIL at the time, like unless it's a real thing where they're doing that because you're an athlete and all that stuff, that's, that is an NIL deal. But you can do so many things. My suggestion for the kids who are not that 1% and maybe their start in NIL isn't from being on the floor, then you do need to really, really focus on your social media, because that's where it's all going to come from. And you have to find what's unique about you that makes you different. That's going to make brands want to work out with you. And the other thing is that, why are you going to wait for brands to reach out to you? You better go pursue.
That's right. Better swim with the sharks, even though coach didn't do it.
But it takes how many asks to get a yes? What's that old school saying? My dad says it to me all the time. But it takes 100 asks to get one yes, So if there's people that you want to work with, go follow them, go engage with their content and their social media profiles. Figure out Google. You have ChatGPT. Please write me a pitch for blah, blah, blah brand. It's not hard. I mean, the world is easy today, y'all. If you want it to be easy, it's easy today. It can really be done so simply, but it does take work. It's simple tasks, but it takes work. And then yes, creating content can be time consuming. But if that's what you really want to do, there are so many ways to get it done. You just have to be disciplined enough to go and do the work, which if you're an athlete, I would think that you would be. So,
Coach, you are super dope. The title of the show is You Got Next. We like to leave them with something inspired. Y'all make sure y'all are following on X as well as IG at LizBrown_52. Coach, what is the future for you? You told us backstage that, you're thinking about going a different direction. You got a lot of juice with the WBB, and you got the world in front of you, Coach. So what's up next? What are you looking forward to the most? What's exciting in your career? What's going to happen next for Coach Liz Brown?
Doing this and talking about this, it just gets me really excited, because I think there's such a, people can make such an impact on these young athletes. And again, high school is where I'm talking about, even before you get to college. And I think, I love this game so much, and the kids are the reason that I do it. That's the whole reason that I do it, is for building those relationships with these kids. And things changed at Kentucky, which is just what things do naturally, and that's okay. So I think my whole goal right now is I really want to be able to create something for myself that I can continue to pay it forward with and help educate these kids and help educate these parents. And I would just really like to have a little bit of a life change. I've done a lot at the collegiate level, and I think it might be time for me to just take a risk on myself a little bit. I'm 30 and I have an opportunity to do that. I've got 2 healthy parents at home, so if I fall on my face, I got a place to land. But I want to spread my wings a little bit and see what I can really do.
Well, Coach, I got this pitch I want to give you right now. What about Sports Life Talk NIL Minute, right? With Coach Liz Brown, and we do like a little 60-second clip once a week where you give the parents, you give just some cool NIL tidbit, and we get some social media branding behind it. What do you think about that, Coach?
I'm in. Where's the contracts? I'm in.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, well, that contract, we got to pay you with like Lay's chips or something for right now.
I'm hungry, so that's fine. I like to eat.
Yeah, we're going to use AI. It's going to be Blake Lively doing NIL. All right, KT, take us home, man.
All right, Coach, you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Oh, obviously, all the coaches that I shouted out a little earlier, Mom, Dad. Obviously, God, He got me here. He got me through everything that I've been through, and I'm standing here in front of y'all, sitting here in front of y'all today because of Him. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so this is the part of the show where you get a chance to call the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. Now I want you to do the same thing. With that said, Coach, who are you calling out? Who should have next?
Well, I feel like you guys would be really excited if I could get y'all with Coach Elsie. So I'm going to call out Coach Elsie.
Let's go! Coach LZ, let the world know that you are up next. You are officially on the clock. Your ticket has been punched by Coach Liz Brown, and we are going to be getting in contact with you super soon. Coach, you know we tremendously big fans. Coach showed us some love when we was in Bryan, Texas last year. It has always been a goal of ours to have her on this show and to tell her story on this platform. So Coach LZ, buckle up. You are up next. But Coach Liz Brown, you got next. You are the truth, Coach. You are just a down-to-earth, authentic trendsetter. You are a trailblazer. You are a living legend and an icon. You are doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. You are extraordinary and elite. You deserve a yeet. Oh, my God. Back at it again. Hey. I'm telling y'all, I love doing this show. We went a little long today, but we know that this was valuable information. And if I got to sit y'all on here for 90 minutes, I don't care. We're going to make sure all of this information gets out to the world, and some of these young ladies and some of these parents know what's popping with NIL. So we appreciate y'all for watching this episode. We hope y'all had a good time. Thank y'all. We're going to be back at it with the next episode. Y'all stay tuned. We got so many more guests coming your way. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this show with all your kinfolk. And don't forget to tap in with us. We drop social media content every single day at SportsLifeTalk, all of the social media platforms. Kevin, we need to get us a social media manager like Coach is talking about. Help us create with a content calendar. She started dropping them words. I was like, Lord, we way behind.
B. Jones, would they work for chips? I mean, that's all we can give them. I mean,
Lay's going to send you a cease and desist. Hey, but with that being said, and if you want to be on the show, we got dope coaches. We got dope players. Media personalities. We telling the story of women's basketball one person at a time. If you got a story that needs to be told, make sure you hit us up on our website, sltyougotnext.com. Click on the nominate tab. Tell us a little bit about yourself, why you feel like you got up next, and we're going to reach out to you and give you an audition to be on the show. And last but not least, for all of my podcast junkies out there that love riding the car and listening to shows on audio format, we got this show as well as over 600 shows in the audio format on our wherever you download your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple. So take You Got Next on the road, in the car, in the kitchen, in the gym, and listen to the smooth, sultry sounds of the mouth of the South, B. Jones and head coach KT. And I'm going to add one more thing, Kevin. I'm sorry. I told y'all I was going to let y'all out. Wednesday nights, we go live. And I don't know. I got a feeling we're going to have Coach Brown on our live in the future so we can talk some more NIL. We got some big things coming y'all way. And so y'all make sure y'all hang out with us Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Smash that bell notification, and you will be notified when we go live with the rest of the Sports Life Talk crew. KT, let's go home, man.
all right. Thank you for joining us for this enlightening conversation with Liz Brown. We hope you gain valuable insights. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring interviews. And until next time, keep exploring, learning, and growing.
Hey, it's only one thing else left to say, Coach Brown. Hold on, wait a minute.
Hey.
Y'all talking about that instant money? Y'all thought it was
Rented.
Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another, because together we are better. And keep dreaming big, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
I knew you had next, cause you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag cause you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you're just like me.